Ross Ulbricht is serving a double life sentence without parole for all nonviolent charges for creating a website. Please help free this peaceful man. Go to freeross.org and sign and share the petition.
So it's little wonder that smart shoppers everywhere take time out to pause and refresh. And where else but in the fountain where they serve ice-cold Coca-Cola?
The eMilitia Podcast, Episode 40. Let's bitch about Corona. Enjoy, fuckers.
Hello, and welcome to the eMilitia Podcast. I'm Bloody Revolutions, and I'm joined by Anglo-Libertarian, Bulix Beware, aka Gramps, Rebellious Liberty, aka Rebs, and Resurrecting Freedom, aka Hang'em. And today we're gonna be... So, there's been so much fucking doom and gloom about this virus, and we can talk about it forever. We can talk about it every episode we've got coming up for the near future, as long as this goes on. But, it's fucking boring. I'm exhausted of it. I don't know about you guys. I'm quite happy for it to all be done with. It's just dull.
Ready for society to continue to exist. I mean, that was cool when that happened.
Humans are a virus. Humans are a virus.
Just take us out.
I took a week off social media here last week, and I'll tell you what, it felt awesome not having to hear about the coronavirus.
Yeah, seriously.
Any other problems, like a weight was lifted off my shoulders from not having to fucking hear all the crap.
Yeah. So like every fucking article, every text message, every little small talk conversation you have with anyone, it's all about this shit. So we're gonna be hitting 3 major topics today. Fucking put it to bed, and then unless like it evolves into some sort of mutant that goes around eating babies, we'll probably cease to talk about it as much as humanly possible. So we're going to be talking about econ, regulations, and also, typical libertarian contrarianism, which we are all guilty of. But anyway, first, a little bit of housekeeping. So last episode was Empress of Memes, aka Ample Mel's last official episode of us, and a lot of people are messaging us being like, oh, where'd Emp go? And it's not any kind of like big split or like we said some awful shit and she can't do it anymore.
We did.
We always say awful shit and she deals with us. She's in the fucking chat right now telling Craig to babysit us.
Someone has to.
Someone does have to. It's going to be a shit show. Our first episode about Emp, and we're all drinking and smoking.
Yeah, and Emp's got big girl shit going on right now, and she's just got a lot of shit going on. It's nothing against us, nothing against her, and yeah,
big against her.
We edged her out, Tiger style.
Oh yeah, that bitch, the eMilitia. But so yeah, she's for all intents and purposes, as far as I'm concerned, she's still
dead.
Group. She's dead. I'm trying to keep this concise.
As far as I'm concerned.
She's dead to me. No. As far as I'm concerned, she's still part of the eMilitia. She won't be as active. She might pop in, like, every few episodes, maybe. I'm not gonna hold her to that. But she's always gonna be in the background helping us out, and she's still very much on Twitter. So make sure you follow her at Empress of Meme if you aren't already. And the rest of us, we're damn near all on Twitter now, apart from Gramps and Boomer.
I'm banned.
Oh, you are? Fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, wow, okay.
All right. We're doing our best to all be on there, but yeah, ban hammer. So anyway, that housekeeping out of the way. We wanted to get into a lot of people as a community. We're naturally very rebellious and contrarian, and like fuck you to being told to do anything, and that's great. I'm proud of that kind of mentality. I think it's very important. But when it comes down to the virus, a lot of people and I'm not saying like, live in fear, sit in the corner and stack supplies like the world's ending, but a lot of people, the CDC suggests something and then they're like, well, fuck them, like fuck everything, and it's like, fuck some of it. So
Yeah.
what do you guys make of the orders and the lockdowns and all that shit?
It's going to
Anybody
do
else
more
want to go
harm than
first? So-
good.
Do it?
It's going to do more harm than good, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree with that. I think the economy getting fucked up is going to cause a lot more long-term damage than deaths, which we've seen as
small businesses are getting fucked. People are losing their livelihood. People are losing shit. It's getting pretty crazy out there for small businesses. My little brother is a part owner in a restaurant in Chicago, and they've been closed for going on like 5 weeks now, and like their rent is $16,000 a month, guys.
Shit.
Oh.
And like it's not like they it's not like they really have it like that, like at least certainly not when nothing is coming in,
At $1,200. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They got $1,200 coming, but like,
and the
Thank you,
bailouts.
they employ, at one point, when they were rocking, they had a staff of like up to 40 people, part, and restaurant kind of stuff, but like as that, like think about what happens when, those 40 people lose their jobs, and that's happening, hundreds of times over on a local scale, and like millions of times over on a global scale. And it's the implications, the economic implications of this are going to be far more severe than the death toll, involved with the virus. There's going to be people in third world countries that starve. I mean, it's
Even here, like that's my big thing is, we're being told, hey, we need to be bigger than ourselves and do these things and social distance, to help save people's lives. Well, so at one point it's going to come down to, well, I'm either going to have to sacrifice feeding my family or sacrifice some old person I don't even know, and so that's a little difficult.
Who probably already has some kind of compromise. The thing is I saw some statistics on this today. Like the standard flu has killed like 15x on this coronavirus since January of this year. And like you don't shut down global economies over this kind of stuff. It's pretty crazy when you start computing the math. Like 6.7 billion people on this earth, and you'd work the math out, and it's like the likelihood of dying from this disease, or this virus rather, are like 0.0001124 or some shit like that. It's ridiculous, and it's great, and that but the economic situations that are going to be caused are not like that. They're way less forgiving, and they're going to be way more deadly, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, and the major problem from that is so many people I've talked to, they think the economy is something that you can just lights off, lights on, and they think when this is all over, we're just gonna be like, go back to work, everyone. And everyone's like, oh, wonderful. It's just like it was before.
Well, I was talking to a guy at work who totally believed that. He's like, as soon as this over, we're going to be back. And here's the thing, a lot of people are going to go back to work.
Yeah.
And a lot of people aren't going to notice the little restaurant down the street that closed down, the Chinese place they used to go to and haven't been to in a while. And you know what? It couldn't open back up. And there's a Panda Express there or something like that. But And for the actual effects for people to start feeling them from this is going to be a few months. But yeah, it's definitely going to affect the economy in a horrible, horrible way.
Here's something that you guys might not know. It's been a very different approach that the government's taken in the UK in terms of just the economy. Instead of sending out a check, which is UBI, it's just a flat number that everyone gets. The government is paying 80% of salaries and giving like big bailouts to small businesses. And that's got its own set of fucking issues, but it doesn't mean that like all SMEs are just going to absolutely crumble and not exist when the economy opens back up again. I still think it's a bad move, but it's got to be a better one. Like people's livelihoods aren't just being literally thrown away, so now they're going to, like 6 years of work that they built up isn't going to be destroyed, and they go back to earning a wage instead of working for themselves.
And that's not even talking about printing all this money from the Federal Reserve.
Well, there's the issue.
The inflation rate that it's going to have, that in itself is going to be a huge destruction. Not including the people out of work. Like, there's going to be
not only that, but we're also dealing with a set of politicians that that exploit this opportunity to sneak in literally billions and billions of dollars that have absolutely nothing to do with this shit.
Raises for themselves.
So
the Kennedy Center.
Not only are we going to be going further into debt to the imaginary fiat money people, but we're also going to be paying interest on this shit, and it's like it's like going to the car dealership to buy a car when you're trying to lower your payment, and you get something that's fully loaded with leather, and you add in all the options. It's like we don't need to be adding money back to fucking NASA and Kennedy Space Center for this fucking economic stimulus. Like there's literally, like, if you start reading through some of that shit, there is billions and billions and billions of dollars that are being like wasted in the name of this tragedy, or whatever you want to call it, but it's just typical government bullshit where we're going to just chase our tails around here and just go further into debt and fuck everybody, and it doesn't even matter. Like, it makes me sick.
Do you guys know what the actual real debt acquired per household is going to be from this bill?
Am I going to cry?
You probably will, because so consider this: an average family, if we say 2 adults and 2 children, you can expect around $3,000 if you qualify for the full payments. The average household debt acquired from this bill is going to be $60,000. You get $3,000, and you have to pay $57,000 back in the debt to GDP ratio.
Man,
that's a good deal.
For that.
Yeah, I know, right? Thank you, Trump. Such a good businessman.
He won that deal.
How did he ever go bankrupt? No idea.
I'm sure he didn't have a money printer back then. It's so much easier now.
All right, hold on. Where were we with this?
We can't blame this all on Trump, though. Like,
wait, what?
Oh,
yeah,
no, I mean, this
signing the shit. But people are he doesn't have to do nothing. They're just bringing it.
No.
Yeah, that's the thing. This is the same exact monetary policy as every single president. This is nothing new.
Everyone. Yeah.
It is. I just take issue with how he's like. This is not a new thing at all. But how he's the poster boy of the right, but he's just
Obama really wasted our money getting us into debt with this $6 trillion thing.
Mm-hmm. Who's added more to the debt? Just total Keynesian, this fucking man is. He was just waiting for an opportunity to turn the printers on, I swear.
Yeah. We're going to have
before the whole
$3 to $4 trillion deficit
in
a year.
He was elected.
Before the Rona, I think Trump was on schedule to, like every president before him, spend more on the national debt than the previous president.
Yeah.
In 4 years compared to the last president in 8. And it just keep going down that fucking track.
Yeah, so someone I was telling, I was like, do you know what the national debt is? They're like, we have a national debt. I'm like, oh, fuck.
What?
you poor soul, come here. And so I pull it up on my computer, and, 20, 30 trillion and tricking. and ticking, and they're like, "Oh wow, that's a lot." I'm like, "What?" And
So you realize we can't pay for anything, right?
yeah. And so I brought this up because, of course, we were talking about this outrageous spending bill, and Thomas Massey and all that stuff, and the guy's like, "Well, I guess that bill doesn't really matter then." I'm like, "Are you what?"
Wow.
That's
like,
what you tell people who are in credit card debt, you know?
Yeah, like,
Spending, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter now. You're so deep
Yeah.
in the hole.
fuck it, like just keep going, man.
It's almost like that's what fucked us all in 2008. Who'd have seen that repeating itself?
No way.
Man, I was going to save the economy rant till later, but we're already halfway
Well,
through
we
it.
jumped right into it, so we're gonna have to circle back to what was the first.
Yeah, we
topic.
gotta circle back. Hold on, we gotta circle back to.
All right. Well,
Just
I want
because
to.
they're telling us to do this,
Yeah.
doesn't mean that like, and we all have a tendency to say fuck off. Well, I won't do what you tell me. I'm gonna do that shit just because you said to not do it. Like,
I'm still gonna tell them to fuck off, but I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
do what's sensible for me and my loved ones. So
I stopped going out the house a week before it went on lockdown, just because I don't have like any commitments to do so, and I thought it'd be fucking stupid if I did. Like, it's not to say that. It's just it's the fucking tricky issue of, yeah, they shouldn't be forcing you into your home, but you also probably shouldn't be leaving it unless you need to.
yeah,
For me, it's the ultimate excuse. Like the government don't have to do anything. People are like, "Oh, you want to go do this?" I'm like, "Nope, the Rona.
No.
I'm trying to be safe."
sitting there in your fucking hazmat suit.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in my boxers, drinking a beer on the couch.
There you go. Not
Hey,
Corona, is it?
My tag's expired. The Secretary of State's closed. I don't like nothing, like as far as like you just said, it's pretty solid excuse for a lot of shit right now. Like like fuck them. Like this is how many more days that I won't have to pay my registration and shit on my vehicle.
There you go. That's a fucking silver lining. I like it.
Like
they really tried to keep those open, like the fucking DMVs and shit. They tried to keep them open as long as possible, and then like, no, we have to shut DMV.
yeah, dude,
We're depriving everybody of this experience.
How will society cope without them?
Oh god, so much better. But yeah, so like a lot of people, I don't like the way the government's handling it. Shocker, real shocker. The mandatory shutdowns, and the outright like martial law-esque shit some are proposing. I don't know how it is in every state, but in Arizona, restaurants are still and like bars and shit, they're still operating, but they're not allowed to like seat people. I'm not sure if that's like law or anything, but the way they're doing it is they're doing to-go services, which I like. I don't know if it's a bit more lockdown in other places. I suspect it is, where it's just like if you're operating a business where people have to come into right now, like you will be prosecuted for something or fined or whatever. But the way they're doing it here is pretty good. Like some places they're still able to pull in a few grand a day just from doing deliveries and shit, even if they don't traditionally do delivery. And so the economy, it's hurting, but it's not fucking dead. Whereas some places are just like blanket solutions and shit. Is it like that for anyone? I don't know how it is, in your states and shit.
Yeah, I mean, my state's on like lockdown, and like you're not really supposed to be out and even like around doing like things unless you're like essential workers.
Are they like prosecuting that? Like, are they stopping people? Or?
I mean, I've seen a decent amount of like cops out on the road. I wouldn't say I've seen more people pulled over, but I mean, it seems like there's definitely like a little bit of a presence. They're like in the parking lots of like the retail, like the malls and the Walmarts and the Myers and all the retailers. It seems like I mean, a lot of the restaurants are trying to do that stuff, but some of a lot of them rely on like bar sales and liquor sales in order to be able to like make meat.
So that's something. We can either jump into it right now or later, but like in Arizona, so there was the regulation where you couldn't do like to go liquor. You could do, I think you could like buy beer and wine at places and shit. But now they lifted the regulation so restaurants could do to go cocktails.
That's
which,
awesome.
yeah, and so they're
That is
making
sweet.
back their money through that, and it's like, well, why is this fucking banned? You know?
Yeah,
This is
like
such
wait,
a
hold
big
on.
deal.
If this is okay now, then why isn't this okay like all the time? Like,
Yeah, like surely that's a lot more fucking revenue for fucking states to tax and build their fucking roads with, whatever. I mean, like seriously, what's the lose there? It's not like as far as I'm aware, there's not like been a increase in drunk driving or anything because they have to go cocktails. People just ordering their fucking meal and doing their thing as usual.
Yeah.
It's it's helped a lot of businesses stay open. I haven't heard about too many people like getting seriously fucked up. Like a lot of places around here, because they have the opportunity to stay open. People are like, okay, gonna support my local, my favorite places, which I think everyone should try and do. Fuck the chains, support the small family businesses and shit.
Yeah.
The chains will be fine. They're getting fucking bailed out.
I was just going to say, fuck bastards. They don't deserve your money, fucking thieves.
Seriously.
Exactly.
Yeah,
My local pub around the corner is closed. They're like one of those places like if they're not selling liquor and beer, like they're not making money. Like they sell burgers and nachos and bar food. It's not like people are lining up to get that to go. That's usually like what you order after you have a couple cocktails, at the bar.
Yeah.
And like, those guys are all kind of suffering, certainly like like you said, like all the mom and pop little delis and those kind of places, are gonna feel it, whereas like, the big chains are probably gonna end up making more money, in these kind of times, which is kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But as far as like, I don't know, it's crazy shit. It's crazy shit.
What I'm really loving out of all this is some of the weird innovation we're getting. Like now that businesses can't have people coming in. I don't know if you guys saw there was a strip club in Oregon.
I was just going to say that.
Did we talk about this in the other episode? We might have, but regardless, I'm going to say it again.
Oh, I haven't heard this. Go.
Okay.
That's good.
So it's a strip club that they can't obviously people can't come in and watch dances now, so they have the dancers delivering, I think it's food and shit from their bar, like their bar food, and then two strippers come and deliver it. And I don't know if you get a show or what the fucking deal is, but that's what they do.
Depends how big the tip is, I guess.
After that,
I
it's
guess
whatever happens.
whatever happens,
Yeah.
happens.
It's from 2 meters away.
Sex work is real work. But,
You let those strippers in your house, the last disease you're worried about is growth.
Yeah, go get yourself tested, but not for corona. But yeah, I guess like two girls with pasties and a fucking scarf and not much else comes and delivers, strip club chicken wings to your door, and happy days, which I think is awesome. I think that's, in a way, that's some free market shit. They're like, we have a problem, we're gonna overcome it.
And like, it sounds like the kind of shit that people take the piss out of us libertarians for. But to go back to like lockdown procedures, like the big question right now, well, what would you do if you hate government so much? What would you do? Let the fucking free market decide, because the fucking restaurants aren't going to be open if it's killing their staff and people coming in. So they're clearly going to have incentive to not be open, but to also not fuck over everyone's livelihoods at once.
We got takeout from a local restaurant that they told us that was the last day they were staying open. They said they were doing a really good takeout business, which they weren't expecting, but at the same time, they didn't want to endanger themselves or their employees. So they're like, we're just going to take this shut down.
Yep.
Imagine if we didn't force every single business to close, how many people could find all these good workarounds to keep the economy going, as well as protecting ourselves against a virus, you know?
Well, yeah, like a lot of people will say, I don't know if you guys have seen this stupid shit bobbing around, but someone said, there's no libertarians in a pandemic.
Yeah, I saw that.
Fuck right off. Yeah, they seem to think that we have no possible way to handle a virus. Like, that's just an unprecedented thing in the decades that this particular strain of the ideology has existed. None of us have ever thought about pandemics, just not even once. But this shit going back to like fucking swine flu and, you know, like, we've done this. We've thought about it. Even if you haven't read theory on it, it's pretty simple. Like Anglo was saying, there's ways to overcome it in a safe way and stuff. And then there's also like culture. Culture is a element of capitalism and the free market. And right now, you know, for better or worse, people are like shaming others for you know, quote unquote endangering themselves and others by being out and mixing and mingling, all that bullshit. And if culture is saying, oh, this is a really uncool thing to do right now, we saw it with GameStop. They, you know, the mobs rose up and forced them to close, even though they were probably all right, because who goes to GameStop anymore? But
the people that already self-isolate, you don't need to worry about them.
Yeah.
Seriously. Like, they haven't come into contact with anyone or anything in a while. Like, Corona? The fuck? But yeah, I mean, if it's literally unsafe for a business to stay open, they're gonna find the most intelligent way to satisfy everyone's worries and then work within those parameters. That's just, you know, how society operates.
Not force everyone to go without a paycheck for a while.
Yeah. I mean,
and right, I'm just going to go straight into the rant that I've been saving.
Do it.
This rhetoric that if you somehow want the economy to still be able to function, you want people to die so that the rich can make money.
It's like, oh yeah,
so
that's me.
We are the only fucking people out here right now saying, no, don't give the fucking banks and the airlines billions, because they say to the like our generation, well, you just need to put some money away, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and they don't have enough fucking capital to operate for 3 months at minimal operating costs. And it pisses me off the most, because I know I'm biased, but do you not understand what a fucking economy is? It's not the fucking stock market. It's not just, you know, the CEOs. You are the economy. Your fucking paycheck is the economy. You being able to live, that's what's being shut down. It's the banks are the ones making the fucking money off this. If we say no, keep the economy open and stop doing the bailouts, you should be fucking agreeing with us if you believe that big business should be held accountable.
Well, yeah, and the big fuck you. The big fuck you is when they say, "Oh no, we'll bail your airline out," and then they're like, "Oh sweet, thank you. We don't have to lay anyone off now." And then they go right the fuck ahead and lay everyone off. They're like, "Oh sweet, I don't have to pay these people. I mean, I'm justified in firing them right now. But also, I got a nice little paycheck from old Uncle Sam. So fuck it."
Yeah, because the way I see it, if like reputation should be fucking shot for these airline companies for this, but they're not, because people just don't seem to care, because it's hidden under all the other pork in these bailout bills. But you'd imagine if there were no bailouts on the way, one, these companies would have enough money in reserve to operate, but also if at the slightest sign of revenue decreasing they laid off their entire staff, then people will go, fuck, I'm not using them again. But that's not a concern for them, because they're just waiting for the Trump bucks to come in before everyone else, except theirs is for billions and not 4 fucking digits. They have no incentive to do moral or ethical or whatever word you want to use business practices, because they can just fucking get away with murder.
Yeah.
But we're the ones that want people to die for the GDP to keep increasing, apparently, because we don't want everything shut down.
Yeah, we only worship the almighty dollar, you know, fuck people's lives. No, that your government is literally enabling this kind of misbehavior and this kind of just fucking lack of empathy. It's not, this isn't like considerate and thoughtful and people looking after their own. It's like, It's fucking cronyism. It's, oh, you're in with us, we're gonna pay you off, do whatever, we're not holding you to anything, like you have to keep your employees, you know, on your payroll. It's just, oh, here's a check, hope everything turns out all right, cool, I don't need this work.
How fucking easy would it be to write in a clause saying, when you get the bailout money, don't lay everyone off? Easy. They didn't do it for a fucking reason. Cretin. How do you not see that?
Well, yeah, they got fucking dinner Friday night. Your congressman at, yeah, and people, oh, it's not real capitalism. No. Seriously. It's a good joke, but
somehow Keynesianism is what actual trickle down economics is. Yeah, for some reason Austrians get blamed for only loving rich people. Like
fucking crazy. I've just released a video saying that this is closer to fucking fascism at this point. Shit has gotten just so out of hand.
Yeah,
self-plug.
The government's so involved with taking over manufacturing and stuff, as they've made it legally able to in this fucking country. They get what they want.
Yo,
yeah.
How about this shit with 3M? Did you guys hear about this shit?
Not 3M. Go on,
bro. The government ended up Trump invoked like some Patriot Act bullshit, of like wartime bullshit.
Yeah,
Defense Production
Powers Act. Yeah,
and they seized like millions and millions of dollars worth of masks from 3M. That what? Yeah, like they
were supposed to go
and
to
then
the
did they give it to Israel?
They gave like 1 million masks to Israel.
Yeah.
Oh,
they seized them from 3M because they were refusing. They were fulfilling the contracts that 3M was fulfilling the contracts that they had, and instead of selling them to the U.S. government, like they already had these other contracts, and I'm assuming that the Uncle Sam wasn't willing to meet the price. And instead of saying fuck, all right, well, it's a free market thing, and supply and demand determines what the value of those masks are, and obviously demand is high as fuck. So, and they basically said, well, we don't want to pay that price, so we're just gonna take that shit. And they took like millions of masks that were set to be sold to like, I think they were going to like France and Spain and like, European countries and wherever. But the thing is like those people need them too, like it's not like it's a matter of like, it's not a matter of like human life to these people. It's all attached to their nationalistic bullshit, like a life of an American means more than a life of whoever else's these are going to, like. Instead of the
except for the one I saw today, where I guess the U.S. apparently confiscated a ton of masks from actual hospitals and they're sending them over to Israel because they need masks.
I saw that they hit some they also hit some horde of like a prepper guy
really?
New York somewhere, and he had shipping containers full of them, but he was just like a private person, and for no other reason than he had them, they basically jacked his shit. They're like, no, for national security, we need these things here. Yep, you're done here. And they ended up putting some charges on his ass just so they could seize that shit.
Jesus. It's because no one needs those. He's just selfish.
Yeah.
So we're gonna steal it from him because that's not selfish.
Yeah, because we need them.
Yeah.
There's even another end to all this shit. Did you guys hear what happened with Remington?
Oh, Remington?
They offered to make masks, and then the state of New York refused them. Basically, they said, "No, we're good," or something like that.
Well, they didn't just do that. They said, "No, we're good," and then they ordered a bunch of masks from China.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They're reliable at the moment.
Yeah. Well,
sending out fucking tests to European countries that literally don't work.
So they turned down free masks.
Not free, but made like in state by Remington, who are in New York State, so very low cost, really. and they just turned
and
it down.
it helped stimulate the economy in their own
Yeah.
state.
Big
And
time.
instead, they bought them from China.
I fucking hate government, guys.
I wish I was surprised.
Hmm.
I wish I was like, no, that can't be.
Yeah.
Like, remember when you were like that? You're like, no, that's got to be fake news.
Oh, I miss those days so much. You have no idea. No, it's just like, well, I wonder what else they're fucking doing. Like, I wonder which of these lizards is fucking kids during all of this and that. Like, that's where I go. I'm not like, or like, I wonder what they're getting away with. And of course, like, the shit that's crystal clear in the spending bill is shocking. Yet alone, what the fuck they're getting into in the fucking race.
It'd be the perfect time to, retreat to a private island of a billionaire friend of yours. When no one can see what's going on.
Shame he didn't kill himself.
So I just shared that story in the chat. Not that like we want to derail the podcast, but like about the guy who got raided in New York. They charged him with coughing on an agent.
That is bull,
dude. Like,
I wish it was true.
I mean, like they're literally just raiding this. They literally just stole this guy's shit. Like he is. The headline: Brooklyn man arrested for hoarding masks, coughing on federal agents.
What the?
He's accused of price gouging. Excuse
Hoarding
me.
Hoarding masks. Like that's a crime.
That's a made-up charge. That's one of those ones where they just make it up.
Well, so
making shit up.
Is this the guy that like coughed on agents? Oh yeah. Wait.
Yeah,
dude, I'm waiting to get pulled over. I'm coughing all over that fucking cop. Like, you give me a ticket, dude, that thing's gonna be so wet and soft when you get it back. Like, I don't care if you're wearing gloves. Like, I probably don't have the corona, but you're gonna be thinking about that all day. Like, you might give me more tickets, but fuck you.
Yeah, I've looked at the headlines of like, the cop arrested the dad because he was playing catch with his daughter in the park. And like the husband and wife sitting next to each other in New York. And I'm like, dude, if anything like that happens to me, I will come unglued. Like, I'm usually okay when I get pulled over. But if something like that happened to me, like, I know I'd get arrested during that because I would not stop. So.
You imagine your fucking Rebs is the first one to boog?
Yeah, that's going to be something.
Kicks off.
Did you see that one that was posted on Thin Blue Line or something like that, where it's like, you better get your windshield fixed and get your license plates taken care of and get your insurance taken care of, because when this coronavirus thing is over, we're going to be out there.
Wow.
Like, literally, last time I got pulled over, they're like, hey, your windshield's broken. And I'm like, yeah, no.
Correct.
They're like, your front license plate isn't mounted. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not going to put that on. And he's like, you're supposed to have your insurance card with you. And I'm like, yeah, it's on my refrigerator. And like, when he walked away, he told me, he's like, well, make sure you get all these fixed. I'm like, yeah, it's not now.
Maybe.
No.
This drives me insane because then I'll argue with people and I'll be like, hey, look, but yeah, cops will never enforce gun control. And they'll be like, that's way different. I'm like, are you kidding me? They're arresting people for playing catch with their daughter in the park. You cannot say that's anything good. And yeah.
Bro,
it's driving me nuts.
They stole 80,000 masks from Homeboy. He had 80,000 masks.
And here's the thing. That dude didn't buy those masks when Corona happened.
No way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They weren't available. So, like, whatever. If he didn't want to sell them, he was hoarding them for himself. That dude's been stocking up them masks slowly.
Bro, and like let a pimp make some money, bro. Like that is the free market, bro. Like supply and demand. Like the demand is high, now you sell that shit, dude. That's just how it works.
I was in the hood the other day in front of a convenience store.
Dude, hit the game.
Dude, I was in the hood the other day, and in front of a convenience store, there was a sport ute with a big cardboard sign that said alcohol and masks.
There you go. That's a fucking entrepreneur.
What else do you need?
And Subway is giving out free masks for the purchase of every meal or something.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know if it was true.
Capitalism has failed us. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that was a political compass on Instagram, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
I don't know if it's real or not, but
What's fucked about the guy hoarding the masks? Because if he hadn't sold any, it wouldn't have been an issue. But he's accused of price gouging, as if
Yeah.
that's a sentence that makes any fucking sense.
Yeah, so
Price
if you just sat
price
on
gouging,
them,
aka participating in a free market without paying tax at the fucking
Not
government level.
not even no.
And
It's
like,
selling
when you-
shit that people want but can't get. He's doing a fucking service. How
Mhm.
else are you going to get masks unless you send men with guns to go and take them? Well,
Yeah.
that's just, is it? Okay.
and
Well,
then
we all
I didn't
know that
realize
price
this was the fucking Soviet Union.
for our listeners, we all know that price gouging keeps the product on the shelves longer, so more people have access to the product.
Wouldn't you
keeping
pay
people
more for
from-
some fucking toilet roll right now?
What's
Yeah.
that?
Wouldn't you
Well,
pay more for some toilet roll right now? Why should you not be allowed to buy it?
price gouging is a made-up fucking term for people who don't believe in free market.
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
another price control. Which, when the government enacts price controls, that's how all socialist countries start to fail. Like,
Mhm.
I don't understand why it's so evil, but then when a socialist country does it, then I mean that's evil. But when we do it, it's like, oh well, we need to do price controls.
It's an emergency. Economics just doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
yeah, hell no. I mean, the thing with all of this is, and the thing that they're really like kind of fucking us with in the headlines and stuff. It's played out perfectly for the Keynesians, because if you look at Amazon right now, I mean, masks, hand sanitizer. I don't know if it's still true, but when it first kicked off, masks, sanitizer, fucking toilet paper, all these things were like, ridiculous prices, like $80 for like a pack or something. But if you think in the beginning, you see these videos of people like, you see these videos of Walmart, 3 women all fighting over, like, trying to grab, I don't know, fucking 10 packs of toilet paper and stuff. It's like, yeah, imagine if they charge, I don't know, $15. Like, that's quite a bit for toilet paper. But
And what do you know?
if
More
you're going in
people
a
get them.
yeah, I mean, yeah. You're going to be like, oh, well, this will last me like 2 months. I mean, how much do you people shit? Seriously. Fuck me, guys. but yeah, you make them $15. Everyone's going to be like, okay, I'm going to buy 2.
I'm not gonna hoard it.
Yeah, because I'm really fucking paranoid about this. I'm going to buy 2. That'll set me for like, 2 months. And then you have people, grabbing them all and then selling them on Amazon for $80 a piece. I mean,
Bro, hold up one sec. Not to jump in on you, but dude, the recorded sale that he did was to a fucking doctor, bro.
Yeah.
It's not even like he's out here selling them to fucking scare tactics to people who don't know what this shit's about. He sold them to a fucking doctor whose and hospital was entirely out of supply. So a doctor who has the cash to go out and buy this shit and is willing to buy it to protect himself in order to continue to go to work to help people. Like, are you kidding me, dude? This man was fucking providing a service, bro.
well, yeah. So the thing this is doing when they
The more I read about this particular case, the more it pisses me off.
It's happening all over the place. We see all of the naming and shaming all over the place. And what these people don't realize about this kind of thing is, if you're a prepper and you just you're paranoid about a disease, every prepper's got their own fucking big concern. But if you're a disease guy, I've got some speech impediment going on. And you've got this guy's kind of a fucking lunatic. He's got 80,000 masks. Whatever, not my business. Kind of a loon. Do your thing.
Well, maybe he was already in medical supplies and medical sales. Like maybe he was already it said he had a medical supply warehouse.
Oh well, whatever. I'm not judging. Just saying. But
Yeah.
I'm judging him a little bit. But anyway, so he's sitting on all this shit, and or you're a guy like this across the country, and you see this story pop up, and you're thinking about selling your masks to people because they're kind of in low supply right now, and you're like, wait. He got arrested for price gouging. I'm just going to sit on all my masks.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. And then they're not getting out there. Like, what the fuck are you doing? These masks exist, and people are clearly willing to pay a premium, because they weren't prepared beforehand. So either we can make up for the mistake in the first place by not being prepared for these things and buy them now, or we can have them be completely unavailable, and then they're just sitting around in boxes, not doing a fucking thing. And we see the inverse with I'm sure you guys have seen it with Thomas Massey was talking about it. People pouring out milk because they haven't had the time to like approve. I don't know how milk works, but approve a batch or whatever, so it can't go onto the store shelves, and so they're pouring it out. And it's
Same thing happened in the Great Depression.
So like I know a little bit about that. If you want to stop, if not, you can keep going. We can talk.
Go for it.
So like, there's a dairy. Like we get my milk from like from a farm right down the road. It's like raw milk, like it's unpasteurized, all that shit. But like the girl that we get it from was telling us that basically that has a lot to do with this man. A lot of the at the retail level, a lot of the grocery stores put like limits on it because people were like, like scare buying, and they're just going out there and buying everything up. So the retailers kind of put a limiting on there, and like she said that at more than a third of the domestic milk production goes into like as ingredients for like restaurants and wholesale. And they said that like there's just basically like there is just more of it than they can actually bottle and get to people to sell. It's not necessarily like from what she was saying, like the volume of milk products and dairy products that we produce domestically is pretty high. And when you take out the wholesale component, or even if you cut that wholesale component in half, or a third, that there's going to be there's going to be a huge excess. And also like they're going to end up getting like subsidized. It's not like they're like losing money. They're going to subsidize that, or they're going to write that off. It's not like they're really taking a loss on it. That's a way to guarantee it to be written off, or to get some kind of insurance claim. But it's not a conspiracy to starve people.
No, I wouldn't suggest that much. I'm sure it's out there though.
No, yeah, some people are thinking that kind of shit. They're like freaking out. They're like, I can only buy a gallon at a time at the grocery store. They're dumping it out in the field.
The thing
like
gets
about
me.
about 2 weeks after, and maybe like 10 days after the first like toilet paper scare went on nationally, all the shelves got emptied, blah, blah, blah. The grocery stores were empty. Like 10 days later, the local grocery store was selling gallons of milk for 20 cents a gallon because they restocked the hell out of it. And here, everyone had already fucking stocked up with way more milk than they actually wanted.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
I saw milk for like 79 cents a gallon up here. Like that. I mean, I don't drink milk from the store, but like that's crazy that they're having it for less than $1 a gallon. It's fucking crazy.
They said they were selling it for 20 cents a gallon.
20 cents, dude.
And everyone's supposed to be like quarantined. You're supposed to like be trying to not go out and everything. And here they're having fucking sales on milk because they overstocked, and they're trying to get rid of it before it goes bad.
I love the Socialist Party of America posted something on Twitter when this whole thing first started. And they posted a thing of like empty shelves. Angler, you might have seen it. It was like
I've heard of it.
It's like, this is what capitalism does. And it's like, yeah, but those shelves are going to be refilled in a week. Like the trucks are coming, not a month,
That's not even the funniest part. The fucking funniest part, right? Is capitalism is forced into a government-induced crisis, and then for a few months, it has to operate the way socialism does all the time. 24/7. Food lines.
Yeah, seriously. Fucking line up around like Costco and shit. People have been lined up around the store and Walmart. They've started to do limits in Arizona now. I think they're doing it elsewhere as well. Like, I think there's 5 people per 1,000 square feet in Walmart, and then like 100 people in certain smaller supermarkets at a time.
And then they have everyone lined up around the building, like
6 feet apart.
Not even 6 feet apart. Some of them you see they're like 2 feet apart. So like everyone's lined up around the building 2 feet apart, so that when they get into the building 4 hours later, they can be 6 feet apart. Like I've been working. It's so funny because I've been working on a hospital project trying to get ready for the coronavirus, setting up like 1,000 beds. And everyone in the medical industry who worked for that hospital was no more than 1.5 feet from the person they were with, or they would be in groups of 10 just clustered together. Like no regard, like there's all these signs when you come in the building, they check your temperature every time you come in to make sure. And then everyone from the hospital is just grouped together, shaking hands.
I think I saw something today, which I think it was a signing of a bill. Don't know where it is, but it was that you can be fined up to $1,000 for being in like within social distancing guidelines and like in big groups and shit. And it was a group of 10 people stood right next to each other holding this bill up, looking so fucking proud, violating that very fucking bill they've just signed.
Hey,
So,
Hang'em, did you hear about Henry Ford Hospital had over 500 nurses test positive?
No.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I think my state's got like only like 4,000 confirmed cases. So if one hospital, 500?
500 staff.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude. And my mom's a nurse, right? And so is her husband. And so like the particular like the particular hospital that they work for, she asked me specifically not to talk about them in particular, but the company that the corporate hospital that she works for is not supplying them with like PPE. The CDC had like downgraded the regulations as to like what was like required, and my mom and her husband have been working with him with definite positive patients. He works in ICU, and my mom with potential patients, and there was a potential exposure, so she ended up having to get tested about a week and a half ago, and her results just came back a couple days ago negative. But like the amount of like exposure that's happening to these people that are working in like in a true first responders sense in this kind of stuff is pretty startling. It's like going back to like we all talk about like just because the government's telling us not to do it doesn't mean we should go do it. Like I mean I kind of for a little while was taking that stance personally. I'll own it, but like but that was just based on my opinion on how this is going to affect the economy, and I wanted to walk it like I was talking it. So I mean I was kind of being a little what I guess consider now reckless, but I mean my mom calls me every day and tells me about the people that are dying like firsthand in her hospital that like are dying from this shit. So I mean it's not like a hoax. I know like a lot of these boob boys are out here like acting like this shit's like not like a thing, but like I mean
like
people are dying from this, like
the way I've reacted to it is I don't trust the government. I definitely don't trust the Chinese government or the Italian government to give any clear information. There's no clear information. It's all disinformation, everything.
Yep.
Well, I'm an introvert, so I'm just, okay, I'll stay inside. Well, why would I take the chance? I don't have anywhere to be. If I got to go to work, I go to work. Come home. I don't expose myself any.
Do you die?
I have to. Maybe it's a hoax. Maybe it's not. I don't think it's a hoax. I don't think it's as bad as they're going to say it's going to be. But you know what? There's a chance you could get it and get really sick or possibly even die. I understand the risk of dying is really, really low. But fuck it. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't got nowhere I want to be. All the bars are closed anyways. So.
Yeah.
12.
I think the chance is like 50-50 if you get it, if you're going to die, man.
I'd say like 90-10.
Oh yeah, you're done.
Yeah, I think 90-10.
You need to like stay the fuck inside and like sit in a bubble.
But have you guys seen that even if you're a carrier but you're asymptomatic and you die in a fucking car crash or like all sorts of random shit, they're going to put you down as a casualty of the virus?
Yes,
Even-
yes, I've
fucking
seen
crazy.
that.
Even fucking Rush Limbaugh, like, he shared that on his radio show. I was like, oh fuck, you're gonna commit suicide real soon, buddy. Just got the fucking president's Medal of Freedom or whatever the fuck it is. He got some tin around his neck, and now he's gonna be assassinated. Real sad. I don't know. Like, is that just some like conservative conspiracy theory, or is that legit? Like,
I think there's been doctors and nurses actually saying that that is true. That's what I've
Really?
seen at least.
Fuck.
I haven't got like any sources at hand, but do you fucking doubt it? I don't.
no. Again, it's one of those things like that's fucking awful, but I wouldn't be surprised.
No.
I kind of like the only thing that I'm gonna question on that is like, I mean, my mom said like she was the squeaky wheel to a point where she was worried about getting fired about this like PPE stuff, and like she could not get them to test her until finally there was like a cross in one of her charts from like she was working with a patient that ended up getting a confirmed positive result. Like, so it makes me wonder like if they're out there wasting tests and time and resources testing people who like got hit by a car.
Well, no, every story I hear about live people is that they're refusing to test.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like
my
they're
mom,
hiding all these fucking tests. Why?
Yeah.
Why are you wasting them on dead people?
like yeah, that's
Test-
why that's my skepticism with that.
Yeah,
scenario,
if we
is, like,
if
my
we have a
mom works
live
in a hospital
people,
where
why would
that's,
you be
like,
testing it
dead.
on dead people?
Yeah,
So if you're refusing tests left and right for people who want them,
Yeah, in our
how
living.
could you have any kind of accurate number at all?
Yeah.
And then
That's
still
my-
give
that's my
them
only
to
skepticism on
the
that.
elite like Harvey Weinstein in prison.
yeah, and in New York they tested a fucking tiger. Like I fucking love animals as much as the next person, but like,
How do you?
There'd be so. We're not doing your vegan
Let's-
bullshit.
let's
Shut
get in.
Shut the fuck up. Not today.
Can we talk about the Q? Can we talk about the Q people for a little while?
And what have I done now?
No, oh my god!
I've not had
Come
enough
on,
whiskey.
dude.
yet.
That's Corona related. They all think this is part of Trump's master
All right,
plan.
fucking go off.
To
if
get
you got
rid of all the
something.
pedophiles.
Yeah,
I'm-
dude. Like, can we just talk about how
I'm just gonna smoke while you do this bullshit.
can we just talk about how fucking dumb and delusional you need to be? and
It's
how-
all an
how
art,
much
though.
of a fucking
For anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, the Q people who are like the Trump, people who love Trump to creepy amounts, they believe that right now we are literally invading Europe and especially Italy to the Vatican to get rid of all the pedophiles there, and we're using the virus as the excuse as to everything's getting shut down, and so
To
that's why
hide the fact
Tom
that
Hanks is a
they're-
pedophile apparently, and he's in a prison cell right now, and
Like,
Tom Hanks is probably a
thinking-
pedophile.
Yeah, he was in Epstein's book, wasn't he?
Yeah. I don't know if he's in a prison because
But
they don't
imagine
lock up
thinking
their own
that you-
kind.
Imagine thinking that you need to tank global economies to fucking go kill a couple pedophiles. Like,
How many
after
dimensions?
Trump gets reelected, we'll see the actual arrests happen and come out.
Meanwhile,
Probably
Trump's
good.
flying fucking back and forth with Epstein to places, hanging out.
Yeah, he was in
Yep.
the book too. So, how many fucking dimensions is this chess game on now? I need to know who's keeping
This
count.
is like
there's
782
as many-
D chess.
there is as many layers to the 3D chess as there is genders on the on the spectrum.
It's actually not even
It's
3D
ever
chess.
expanding.
It's 4-dimensional now.
4D chess.
That
Oh,
shit
dude,
is
it's like presser once you go to prison.
64 layer chess.
Is it like video games? It always doubles 64, and then it'll be
Yeah, like 64 bit.
It's a logarithmic scale.
Oh god! Like, you know what? I will shut down my account if Q turns out to be fucking true. I will. The final thing I will
I'll
post.
shut down my life.
Dude,
I will.
I will post a selfie of me licking my own foot. If this like
I'll join them. I'll join
Yeah.
them and start making Q memes.
I'll eat John
If
Mackey's with
they're right,
become
I'll
a-
give up and fucking join in and vote and everything. Hail Trump.
Yep. Right.
I will put on my best pair of boots and selfie myself licking them if the Q shit is real.
Film yourself thanking a cop.
Thank you for your service, officer. Sorry, I'm adjusting. I'm adjusting to that. Yeah, that of all of the crazy shit to believe in, that has got to be the most entertaining. Like, this is one insane op. Can you imagine the government being like just efficient enough to pull off an op?
The storm is upon us.
Oh, Papa John.
Oh god.
Dude, I have a couple of followers that just stay sending me shit from that. And I finally like had to be like, fucking stop. Just stop. Like, this is fucking ridiculous. What kind of like you guys have, you know, like where you have to like fulfill these what is fucking what's wrong
I know,
with
man.
these
I know.
people?
Those are the people buying the Trump coins and all the other Trump. Like,
the fucking
anytime
like
you open arms list,
engraved.
it's got all that Trump shit for sale.
Yeah, yeah.
Those are the motherfuckers buying it.
The
To me, the
Trump
problem-
45 engraved 1911.
Yeah,
To me,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Well, to me,
Gold.
the problem with it is like, hold on. So like, we all recognize that like the issue outside of like just the pedophile ring is really like the globalists or like the NWO or the Illuminati or whatever you want to call it, right? So like, you mean to fucking tell me outside of shutting down global economies that Daddy Trump has an entire subset of globalists that have a different agenda, that once they beat out the other existing globalists, they're going to just give power back up to the people, and the pedophiles will be dead, and we all go back to work in life.
All the pedophiles forever.
All the pedophiles.
They're all gone.
What? What?
Oh man.
What?
We started with do you think we should stay indoors or not? And now we're at fucking Q. I knew getting drunk and high would be a fucking mess.
It was a good thing we got the economics and some of the more serious stuff out
They
of
were
it.
like, yeah. Oh man.
You
So,
guys,
Where the fuck do we go from that?
Well,
I'm going to mix another one. I'll be right back.
well, something we have to acknowledge, guys, is we're all a government plant now because we said that you should be a little concerned about Corona, and that people are in fact dying in places, mainly New York. It's not like some mass. That's okay. That's a thing. Before I get into my big reflective moment, most of the cases in the United States are in New York City. Like the overwhelming majority, I think like 35% total. So maybe I just pulled that out of my ass, but I'm pretty sure I just read that somewhere.
Dude, I spent a couple minutes the other day trying to compare Ohio and New York, and I couldn't get anything definite on New York. Almost like
we're using Google or DuckDuckGo.
DuckDuckGo. And I couldn't get anything definite on New York. Like the Ohio shit came up right away. It had how many cases, how many deaths. Whether you believe them or not, that's another story. But there was information there. Like the New York shit was like hidden and fucking, and I couldn't find anything definite because I just wanted to compare. Because here everyone's flipping out about New York. Oh well, look at New York. Look at New York. And I'm like, the most second densely populated place in the world.
Yeah.
You think Ohio is going to be like that?
Yeah, seriously.
And
Come on.
everyone's freaking out that the U.S. has like more cases than France or like all these countries. And it's like, yeah, have you seen the size of the U.S. versus them? Like, we're the size of the entire Western Europe. Like,
well, the way people need to think
by the
about
time everyone, I'm going to go. Shut the fuck up. By the time everyone,
you horrible.
you should expect this. So by the time everyone figured out that, oh shit, this is actually a big deal, the only way to like be at the top of the list of confirmed cases is to actually test people. There are like for a long time now, there have been more people with it than you can possibly test.
Well, Anglo, China doesn't have any more.
yeah,
I didn't for a while.
They completely got over it.
Yeah, I mean nothing in this Wuhan, the absolute center of it. No more cases.
I bet there's a ton of freshly dug mass graves.
I mean, I've been seeing. My mom is convinced that she got it in like the middle of December because she was out for like 2 weeks with this horrible cough and she couldn't breathe. It was just like she was done.
She's like, it was the worst respiratory thing. She got tested for pneumonia, for the flu. You don't test. It's just so virus. A lot of people are convinced that they already had it like 2 months ago. But I mean, how can you even like document that? Like, who knows?
I'm sure a lot of the tests that are trying to be made, wading through all the red tape, can actually see retroactively if you've already had it. And then
well, you can detect antibodies and stuff usually.
Yeah,
I think that's something they go with.
And I think I've this is all off memory when I was really tired, but I'm pretty sure it was Adam Kokesh put on Twitter a link where you can pre-order COVID tests, and they'll be shipped out as soon as the FDA approves them. So we've got fucking tests that people can buy, and we're just waiting.
Yeah. Oh.
I just don't see why people. I don't see why people so dearly cling to it. That, again, no libertarians in a pandemic. Why the fuck are there statists in a pandemic? Like, so many people are bitching about not enough being done, and then they're like, "Oh, they should have done this sooner." It's like, yeah,
they had the tools to. Like,
yeah, it's not like the so-called cure doesn't exist. Like, what we should be doing needs to be government enforced. Like, fuck me.
Oh, and here's the thing as well, because it's like a coronavirus is a group of viruses, and SARS is one of them. There are companies who had vaccines and cures and all sorts of shit for SARS that they only need to change a little bit of to get it to be COVID applicable. But the narrative is, no, it's going to take 18 months. It's not going to take 18 months at all. It's going to take 18 months because the government says it has to. It's bullshit. So, how would a libertarian society deal with it? How the fuck is this society dealing with it? It's not doing a good fucking job.
How much did we touch on that about all the regulations? Like, I believe it was Boston. It went from like 6 to 8 weeks to get a nursing license in Boston to like 24 hours or less.
Yeah, my little sister's doing her residency, and like in the middle of all this, and they ended up like closing down residency, and she's gonna get to move forward with her license as if she completed, residency, like full experience. She's doing like stuff online and this and that, but like she's not having to do anything like bedside. She's not having to do anything like in person. It's all virtual. It's all like online, and she's still gonna get her license as if like, she like completed full blown residency, which is like that fucking kind of crazy, dude.
that building I was working on,
yeah,
fucking code went out the window. Nothing was being. The hospital itself has like a very rigorous thing to get a ID to be able to work there, and normally I refuse to get their ID because they want so much information from me. But now that it's a thing, they're like, yeah, you can come work for us.
Yeah, no, we need that shit.
You have a first and last name, right? I got a first one. Oh, okay, cool, you're hired.
Yeah. And here's the thing: is they're coming out with all these regulations. They're letting regulations go it's a good idea to let these things go.
Cool.
And it's those are going to come back really quick. Yeah. Like the second this thing's over, all those regulations are coming back. Like the whole being able to buy drinks to go. That'll disappear. But all the regulations they're making right now about us, about our security, about looking at stuff, about fucking money, that shit's all going to stay. We can't get rid of that. All these bad ideas that are coming out now are going to be stuck with us, and all the good ideas they're going to get rid of.
Well, I mean, there's a few good quotes about that. There's no good crisis goes to waste. I think that's I'm gonna butcher it like fucking Biden, but I think it was Benjamin Franklin saying governments let no good crisis go to waste, something like that. And then of course there's war is the health of the state, and it's been interesting. Have you heard of them, especially Trump and his kind of team, refer to the virus as an invisible enemy that's very tough and very clever? like Persona.
Silent assassin.
We're at war.
Yeah, with an invisible enemy. It's like, okay, so you're just trying to get people into the mindset to like accept sweeping, security.
Militarization and
Yeah, it's why he was able to get through that Korean War thing about taking control of industry and shit.
Mhm.
And it's why people are like so. We're such a militarized society in the Western world, and especially in the United States, where you kick people into that kind of war mode, and everyone's like, oh well, everything's permitted. Then you said the magic word, master. Like everyone just fucking bows and it's like, do it. If we're at war, I mean, it's serious.
It's funny how I've just in quarantine. I've just started reading 1984 again, and it just makes it all the more fucking scary.
See, I've wanted to read that, and I'm like, no, this would be too much. Like right now, I
It would
can't
hit
read
way
it
too close to
and
home.
realize how much is going on right now that relates. It'd be too scary.
It ruined the military for me. I read it like someone gave it to me when I was like starting my shit, and I was like, well, all right. Always been interested. I'm a libertarian. Gave it a read. I'm like, fuck this thing. I'm out.
It particularly makes me it's just the war rhetoric part. We're at war with coronavirus, therefore we've always been at war with coronavirus and always will.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys need something to bring you up and give you some hope, the sovereign individual. I'm going through it for the second time, and it's giving me
Who's that
hope
by
again.
again? I'm sure I know it.
The sovereign individual.
Who's the author?
It's like a couple different authors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a group of authors. They wrote like 3 books in the late 80s, early 90s.
Angler, you know one of them. William Rees-Mogg.
Really?
Yeah.
He's the son of the father of Jacob.
But either way, great book. Awesome.
Okay.
Other good news is a lot of people are buying guns, so they might also be like, hey, maybe we do need guns.
That's
A lot
right
of
for
people
some,
are
isn't it?
printing guns too.
Yeah. FGC.
I had to process that in my head. Yeah, that's gonna be a major thing. I mean, this is the biggest bump in I think gun ownership this country might have ever seen. It was like something ridiculous. Like
I thought it was like 2.5
It
million.
is.
Yeah.
I seen something that said
Yeah.
it is the
There's
biggest.
millions of new gun owners.
It was the highest selling month in history.
yeah, and that's I mean that's legal gun ownership. Just think how many are like, or so-called legal in-shop transactions. Think of how many people are like out in the sticks, like, hey, Uncle Bill, I know you've got some rifles. You mind if I buy one off you? Like that, and Walmart parking lots across the country. I'm sure there's all sorts of private transactions happening off the book. So I mean, just the on the book shit is fucking insane. But all the other stuff going on, there's gonna be a lot of new people owning guns and shit. And I think it's going to be pretty hard to argue for gun control after everyone who was on the fence, they're the new gun owners. Everyone who was
I
like,
had one of the girls that works for one of my businesses. She was like, pretty hardcore anti-gun, and she like struggled coming to work with everyone that we were doing, and she sucked it up and she ate it, and she did an awesome job. And like her and I were talking, or I guess she was talking with my wife too a couple days ago. We were just like talking about how much she wished she had like purchased a couple guns, and now we're in this situation, and like she learned how hard it was actually to go out and buy one, and like there's no ammo around, and this whole thing, it's just like, there's a lot of people that are gonna end up coming maybe to a little bit of a more neutral sense about that kind of stuff once they kind of all thought about it and saw that they don't own a gun. There's no food, like I don't know if you guys all regionally went through the food shortages, but like there was times when there was like no meat in the grocery stores and shit like that, and like there's people up here that have never cleaned an animal or slaughtered anything or killed anything, and yet they eat meat. And now all of a sudden they're like, wait a minute, can't buy
Where
that
does
at the
meat come
store.
from?
Can't buy that at the store anymore. I don't own a gun. I don't know how to hunt. I guess I'm gonna become a vegetarian. Like, but I think, yeah, like you're saying, man, we're gonna get a lot of new gun owners out of this, which is always a good thing.
Since like the stats show like all this surge in new gun owners, and I'm gonna take a good guess that the gun crime is going down right now.
Oh yeah,
So
Well, let's also
we just
remember
bought
that
all these new guns.
The government will take. They'll say they did that. Well, we told everyone to stay inside, so that's why crime's gone
Yeah.
down.
yeah.
I bet you're going to see a lot of the people who normally say you don't need a gun, the cops will protect you, saw that the cops actually aren't enforcing any crimes and went, shit, I need a gun.
Yeah.
And
all the people.
How about that shit where they're like basically telling people what they're not enforcing? Yeah,
I know.
We're not
Burglaries and
responding to any
assaults.
drug dealing calls. We're not going to respond to any domestics. We're not going to respond to any like you basically.
Well, I mean, the
just,
cops
like,
themselves must have been overjoyed when domestics weren't getting dealt with.
Yeah, they're
Well,
like,
they never get
now
dealt
you're
with.
getting 2 black eyes, bitch.
I'm locked up with you. Oh. And the cops
Fucking
aren't coming.
you overcooked the meatloaf. And you made macaroni, and I already ate macaroni yesterday, and now you're gonna get it.
Oh my god.
That sounds a bit too personal, man.
You know how much shit how much police shit Gramps must go through? That man's probably got
It's starting to rub off.
Oh Jesus.
Yep. Yeah, we're not gonna prosecute any drug dealing charges. It's like, all right, sweet. We're no prostitution, so we got pimping, we got crack sales, we got
Social distance
we got
pimping.
hoes getting slapped.
Or even burglaries, as long as it's not armed or violent. Oh,
Yeah.
how do you announce that you're not going to enforce that?
Yeah,
That's like the one thing you should enforce.
Bro.
Like,
what? That's the craziest part about it. They tell them.
Well, it's about their safety too, guys.
They're
the ones that you should follow, but when it comes down to it, it's their safety over yours.
Yeah. Warren versus DC.
Yep.
Gramps, I wouldn't be shocked if you had that like tattooed on you somewhere.
Warren versus DC.
like that's an OG tat.
I should have that one.
That should be a group fucking tat. We should all get that.
Design it, something cool.
Fuck it. I might be.
I have
gun style and just give one to
secret
myself.
tattoos.
Then we could sell it to people who want to get in the club. Sell the design.
We could let if guns could do it for us. Guns could tattoo us.
There
Guns
you
could
go.
tattoo us. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, why would you do anything besides a black market tattoo?
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Well, hold on. You can get a high quality black market tattoo and not have to go through guns.
Yeah, you just drink with your tattoo artist.
Like, yeah, I know a bunch of tattoo artists that do all kinds of black fucking market tattoos.
So
Actually, that's a very legit thing to suggest to anyone who likes that ink. Like, complete side point from this whole episode. If you get along with your fucking tattoo artist, get a drink with them. I'll also do it in their fucking off
They
time.
usually have the best drugs. The best drugs.
Ooh. Can't believe
My tattoo artist introduced me to DMT. I didn't know what the fuck it was. He's like, hey.
Just
I
still have
no idea what
Rogan
that is.
podcast.
He's like, I'm a tattoo artist. People always want to trade me drugs. Let's smoke DMT.
yeah, I get tipped in drugs all the time.
I'm like, dude, finish the fucking tattoo.
Yeah.
Then we'll do
Do
your
that first.
DMT.
I like being tattooed. Feels
Fucking
good.
Don't hate it.
fucking addictive. That's like my Zen time.
Yeah, I can sleep while I'm getting tattooed.
I've had my like spine tattooed, and I was fucking I always fell asleep. I was just like,
Yeah.
Am I the least tattooed person on the eMilitia?
I haven't got
You have
any.
any?
As soon as I've got the money, I'm going to get a snake.
A snake? No, a snack?
Snake.
Like a snack?
Is the
Snack,
snake
bro.
going to be in the mouth of a Black Panther?
No, like a no step on snack.
What?
Like a relevant snake, dude.
It's gonna be a
What
little
kind of snake?
squiggle. It's gonna be a little squiggle
tiny.
with no.
See,
No.
I don't have any tattoos, but I want to get some
No.
finger tats, and that's probably not going to be accepted at my work.
You're a good boy. Just wear
I
fingerless gloves.
think.
True.
I think.
No,
Like, as
you
many
know
people-
what? Hey, no. Hold on.
Alright.
Hold on. Here's some actually good, solid advice. Don't have your first tattoo be a fucking visible one that you can't cover up.
See,
Hmm.
that's so,
I'm sorry.
Ooh,
like,
wow.
don't do that. Don't,
my
don't
sister
make
got a
your first one-
tattoo, and my parents were pissed, or my dad was pissed. So I have to be the good boy still, maybe.
My parents hate tattoos. All 4 of their children fucking have them. And
Wow, that's what
Like-
happens, man.
like a year
Yeah.
ago, my dad's like, just none of you get hand or neck tattoos until I die. And I'm like, I wanted a hand and neck tattoo a lot before, and now I really, really, really want one.
Now I really want one.
You shouldn't have said that.
Like, hurry up, dude.
You fucked yourself with saying that.
Like,
man.
I won't buy another AR upper. I'll go get a fucking nice neck tattoo or something.
Yeah, shit.
Who's gonna get I survived the coronavirus tattoo? That
Oh,
could has
Christ.
a lot of potential to not age well.
Have you seen those don't cough? Like some girl got don't cough on me. Like a Gadsden snake is a fucking thigh piece. You seen that?
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I've seen that.
Oh man.
it's funny. It's funny.
She got it for free. She didn't pay nothing for it. Her boyfriend's a fucking tattooist, or she's fucking a tattooist.
That's how you get. That's how you get the cheap work, bro.
Is this
Yeah.
more tattoo advice of the eMilitia?
Or you
Dude,
give them drugs.
Fuck it, it's so relevant.
There was a tattoo parlor around here that it was well known that if you got a tattoo over $250, you get a blowjob from the guy's wife.
Nice.
Whoa!
It's like spend $250, get a tattoo and a BJ.
You're like, so what would roll me 250? I fucking hate tattoos, but I love your wife.
Can I do like 2 polka dots? Charge you $250?
Or maybe you're like, hey, you're a really good artist, dude, but I seen your wife. I might have to go somewhere else.
like,
Cut me
I'll
a
pay you
discount.
$500 not to have that happen.
That black market tattoo game. Strong.
Jesus.
Oh dear, that's not what you want to hear.
What are you talking about? You talking about that tattoo you gave blowies again?
God damn it! That's the 4th one today, honey.
You find so many of them.
Jesus.
Well,
All right.
without Emp and without any of us playing the role of adult, we have found ourselves fantastically off track.
We did.
Yeah.
It took us like an hour and a half.
See, we're professional now, Anglo. I think we're at like 40 episodes.
Oh yeah, it must be.
That's like almost not new.
Yeah.
Like we're meant to have production value by now.
Have we shamelessly plugged our listeners to upvote us on the thing? Have we ever
Podcast ranker, not in a minute.
I think we
Well,
did
tell
it
us,
once.
hey, listen up, you fuckers! Go up.
Are we like under Tom Woods yet?
Well, we need
Dude,
to tell
no, we're
them
so
what it is we're telling them to
smashing
go
Tom
to first.
Tom
Oh,
Woods,
Tom Woods.
is eating our dust right now, bro.
No, okay. Upvote Tom Woods. Upvote Faircast. Upvote eMilitia. Downvote Biting the Bullet. Fuck those
Right,
guys.
I'm going to tell the people what it is they need to upvote because we haven't
Oh,
said
and
it.
upvote.
Go to libertypodcastranking.com.
Oh yeah,
That's important.
that's a little
And
bit.
fuck all those guys. Just upvote us.
Yeah, we are 4 points behind Biting the Bullet at the moment, who are number 1.
Oh,
so get us to
double
first
fuck
place.
those guys.
That's
Yeah, I know,
bullshit. Nah, can't be doing it.
There we go. That's our challenge.
We should go on a strike. If we don't beat them, we're not producing content.
We will only produce podcasts as long
You
as
will
we're
not
ranked
get
higher than
podcasts
biting the
until you
bullet.
have their
If you
motherfuckers.
voted, you have family, you have friends. Steal their phone for fucking like 5 minutes. Vote with their fucking.
You already know
address,
their
like,
Just
email
get them to listen
address.
to us.
So, in the end, in regards to all this coronavirus bullshit, just be fucking sensible. If you're like out in the countryside, you're probably all right to go hunting and like to generally be around people. But like if you're in a big city, just be fucking sensible. I mean, having a block party right now, probably not your best bet. But like all this militant martial law talk, I don't think is a solution. And yeah, I think I think people are going to definitely try to take advantage of this, and I would definitely never say 100% of what we're being told is the truth. I think the death rate's probably inflated, and there's all sorts of sneaky bullshit going on. But that doesn't diminish. It's a legit virus. I mean, if we think this is an op, like, come on, the government's not that good. Unless you're like a moon landing type. Someone here's gonna be someone's gonna be like, yeah, that
Well,
that
actually-
bullshit. Yeah, actually, that bullshit didn't happen.
so what you're saying is it's not a government fucking made virus?
God damn it! I am saying it's not. I don't believe our government. I mean, so
Ooh, you're gonna rule that out?
Yeah.
You're that. You're that.
whoa, whoa!
Oh, because
No,
I'm
no.
not saying it's a government-made virus, but if you came
Okay.
with proof, I wouldn't be surprised one bit. I'd be like,
This-
you know what? Kind of thought that.
All right, I'm fucked up and high. It very well could be like purposefully made, but I don't think.
That doesn't mean you can't not avoid it.
There's
Yeah.
that.
Yes,
There's that.
exactly. I mean, yeah, hey, you hate the government already. Why do you want their virus?
Yeah, exactly. The way I
It's
look
like-
at it is at the very least we as libertarians are playing a game of optics. We're not in a war of boogaloo yet. We're playing optics. And if we're gonna say, yeah, screw that, we're gonna go out and do whatever we want, people are gonna use that and say, hey, this is why we need government, because of idiots that go out and do whatever they want during this time.
Or even worse, you get it and die.
Yeah, that
You don't
too.
want that, or sick, or like, who wants to be sick? Stay away from people. People suck.
that's
Moral of the
a
story.
libertarian solution. Why do you want to go out? People suck. Yeah, I think that there's so many different attitudes towards this. There's of course the libertarian conspiracy theorist is like, it's a government op and this is a real virus they unleash on us. Completely valid. Do your fucking thing. Be wary of the virus. Avoid population centers. All that bullshit. And then if you're the other way and you're like, oh, it's not that deadly, no one's dying, it's all bullshit.
Trump's just using it to fucking kill the pedophiles.
Yeah,
Obviously.
that being the extreme. I forgot what we talked about.
Yeah,
Fucking,
you gotta go to the other extreme. It's kind of a triangle.
it really is.
At least a triangle.
Triangle crazy. But like, I don't know, be sensible. Just, you don't have to be a contrarian in every sense. At the same time, be very fucking skeptical of everything that comes from the government at all times. Even though I'm saying right now, staying away from people is probably a good bet. But at the same time, I will never fucking validate, using force to get that done. I think that's the wrong way to do it. I think voluntary action is the best way to do it, and it's not impossible. People don't want to get fucking sick, but you see it in the papers like everyone's defying this to be an asshole when it's like a handful of people. They're just trying to create this public perception of shame.
Everyone's got their own personal responsibility. If you're willing to bet that this isn't a big thing, go ahead and do whatever the fuck you want. Talk to whoever you want, hug and kiss and whatever. If you're worried a little bit, don't go out. It's that simple. If you're not worried about it, go out. if you get sick, don't come crying to anyone.
Yeah, I'm not the person, like, when I see people out doing public shit, like, I was out in the park with my girlfriend. I don't give a fuck. Like, I wasn't, like, going up and fucking raving with 60 people. I was the fuck away from everyone else. I think that's fine. I don't give a shit.
That's how I normally do it, though. Like,
Yeah, I try to
you
go
know,
out. I should try to get to the range soon. It's probably empty.
Public land out here. I went out on public land the other day and there was just fucking like gunshots and tannerite all over the place.
Super jealous of the public land.
Hey man, we could be neighbors. Let's start the commune.
I'm down.
No, I think we all need to go to fucking where Gramps is at.
Yeah, he sounds like he's already got it set up.
Yeah, no,
Dude,
you're
he's
right.
only a couple hours from me.
You fucker.
So now I just need a fucking trailer. And I'll put all my fucking book supplies in the trailer and roll up with him and help him take care of his fucking meat chickens. You know what? I need to start sending him money now to fucking buy some more meat chickens.
Where the fuck? We're gonna get off topic again.
This is your outro. Good job.
I know. We're gonna get off topic in the outro somehow. But yeah, I mean, just be fucking sensible. Like, I don't think staying indoors is some miracle cure. I think that's fucking stupid. I think it's based on your surroundings and what you're going out to do. Like, I think there's lots of activities that are considered kind of somewhat communal, like going to a park. That isn't, you know, it's not gonna make this shit any worse if you're sensible about it, unless you're going around licking fucking streetlights. So I think people trying to shame others, fuck them. They're cunts. I hope they get this shit. I legit fuck them. Nah, I wouldn't wish it on anyone. Apart from Karens. We're very wishy-washy.
How do I report businesses that are open?
Yeah. Like, I would never give it to them, but I fucking hope they get it. There you go. And people licking drinks and shit in shops. I hope they get it too. Fuck those guys.
That's just all in all always a dick move. So
yeah.
It's tampering with property.
Yeah.
So yeah, just don't be a cunt. That's the miracle cure for Corona. You heard it here first. Don't be a cunt. I'm not gonna tell you to stay at home. Fucking go out and do shit if it's sensible. Duh. And if Blue Helmet's National Guard show up, say hi. I don't think we're gonna get to that point, though. You hear they're talking about defunding the World Health Organization?
Oh yeah.
I fucking do it.
Yeah, do it.
Fucking do it.
Why are you talking about it? Why isn't
Just do it.
Why isn't it done?
Just pull the fucking trigger, man.
Yeah. Otherwise, we'll just think it's a political stunt. Come on.
Oh man! If I get reelected, I'll do it. Bullshit.
Just like Hillary will be in prison if I get reelected.
Yeah, she's gonna see bars someday. If he gets reelected, he'll do it.
Yeah.
God. But anyway, before we get off on a ramble, yeah, don't be a cunt. Hashtag don't be a cunt 2020. Yeah, thanks for listening. That's Corona. It doesn't exist anymore. We're only going to talk about it if it's like the zombie apocalypse. I'm fucking done.